Hi, hello, and good morning. Um, I will be answering any of the questions that people have left over the last couple of days. I just wanted to do a quick live video um, because I have had my procedure. I had it on Thursday, and I just want to say that I was really, really lucky. Um, I felt like the information that they told me before the procedure, maybe it needed to be a little bit more detailed. Um, as I said before, the NHS are trying to cut down on paperwork, so all of the information is given to you via email. And again, in a format, sadly, that I can't read. And so I have to have people read it for me. And one of the things that kind of shocked me on the day, hello, good morning, was that I did have to have a cannula put into my arm, but I'm really lucky. I have bruised. It's really hard to see, but it's just here. Sorry, I'm trying to get it in the. So I have got a bruise around this area of my arm, my forearm. And I was kind of shocked because I said, "Well, why have you got to put a cannula in? I'm not having anesthesia." And they were like, "Oh, we have to put one in as a precaution in case anything goes wrong." So straight away, my anxiety levels went through the roof. And I had gas and air, like I said I would. I didn't have anesthesia because I didn't have anyone to take care of me in the evening. And so, yeah, I was kind of like a little bit like, well, why have I got to have a cannula? So they put it in and it hurt like hell because I've got quite deep veins. So I find it really, really hard to put them in. So they put it in, and then obviously you're waiting around for about an hour before you have your procedure. So again, it's that sort of waiting around that can cause people like myself, especially because I can't really talk about anyone else, to start having anxiety and stuff. And the one thing they never did, I mean, before they did the procedure, they did do my ops, and then they did my observations after the procedure, but instantly before they never did them, for whatever reason. So I had the procedure, and yes, it was painful. I'm not joking. The first part, when they actually insert the camera into you, was really, really discomforting and really painful for me, and quite. But as they were like putting the camera in my body, there was periods where there was no pain, and you do actually get to view it yourself. So it was quite interesting to see what my insides look like. That might not be for everybody. You don't have to watch the screen. And then after, once they reached the end of the colon, they took 10 biopsies. So on this little piece of paper here, which is what they gave me to take home, is all these circles show where they took biopsies from inside my body, and obviously photographs. Sorry, I'm yawning again. So I wasn't given any pain relief afterwards. And it wasn't until about maybe an hour later that I started feeling a lot of pain and discomfort. And again, that's because of the added gas that they put in you to make it easier for the camera to obviously go into the body. Now, for me, the most painful and the most traumatic moment was right near the end. No pun intended. They said to me, okay, we've got one more thing we need to do, and that's to turn the camera around inside you. I don't know why they had to do that. That was not explained to me. I didn't understand any reason why I had to have a camera turned around inside my body. And at that point, oh my God, I was literally screaming in pain. I was shouting at the staff. I felt it was just horrible. There isn't any words to describe how I really felt at that point. It was so excruciating for me. And I just remember screaming, "Get it out, get it out, get it out now, it's hurting me." And they were like, "There's nothing in you, there's nothing in you. Why are you screaming? Why are you screaming?" So it was really, really weird to have to kind of endure that and go through that. And so afterwards, I must have been crying for about an hour after, like, in recovery. All of, like, the pains that I always experience were always there. They never go away. So, pardon me, like, the pain in my left side, it's gotta be something else, because they're saying that, as far as they're aware, there was no cause for concern, which is brilliant. That's really good to hear. So I've got to wait for the results of the biopsies, which are here. And you're given a piece of paper. Which says this on it: to take home with you. And it has like a list of things that you have to be obviously aware of after having the procedure. No, the first thing that obviously happened to me, because I fell down the staircase on the way to get in the taxi to the hospital. The staff were absolutely amazing. They actually put me in a wheelchair and they wheeled me to my appointment. And then they were like, "You fell down the stairs. We might not be able to do the procedure." And I was like, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Please, please, just do the procedure. I'll go to A&E after." So they did the procedure and then they wheeled me all the way to A&E, which I just want to say thank you. The staff at George Eliot Hospital were absolutely amazing. And I got to A&E and the waiting time for me was just under 4 hours, which is really, 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 really good for George Eliot Hospital. And I got there and I explained how I'd fallen, what parts of my body I'd injured, and they x-rayed the parts that they were more concerned about. And it was amazing because I got to see my x-rays. And so again, there was no damage. It was just what they call soft tissue damage. So I am quite sore today, but that's mainly not just because of the procedure that I've had, but also because of falling down the staircase. And again, this is one of the reasons why, if we go back to personal independent payments, when they asked me the question, "How do you cope with stairs?" I actually said to them, "I only ever use the stairs when I need to, because the bathroom's upstairs." And I did a video to explain, like, the staircase and how I manage the stairs in my house. And the main reason why I don't like using the stairs is because I am prone to slips, trips, and falls. And that is because I have a condition called dyspraxia, which used to be known as clumsy child syndrome. So what I find is, the more tired I am, or the more stressed I am, or if I lose concentration, then that is when it's more noticeable. So I struggle with judging spatial awareness, for example. Yes, I do have a driver's license, but no, I don't drive. Okay, I passed my driving test. Um, People with dyspraxia can have driver's licenses. Okay, um, but the problem, like, it's just simple things like trying to walk through a door frame. My hips are quite lucky; they're not as bad as they usually are. But the amount of times that I will bang into the door frame, or again going down a staircase, I struggle to uh, think about where the next step is. Getting in and out of the bath, walking in and out of properties. I mean, I did a video, I think it was last year or a few years ago, where I misjudged how to get into my house, and I fell and I cut my shin. Um, and oh my god, that was excruciating, and it must have took something like 12 weeks to heal. And everyone kept saying to me, "Go to the hospital, go to the hospital." And I was like, "I don't want to go to the hospital." You know, if it was broken, I wouldn't be able to walk. So I just had to wait for it to sort of heal itself. And as you can see from my legs, I take very long time to get better, especially for things that are quite superficial. So it is really frustrating. I mean, again, like picking up plates or cups or saucers. So when I hold a bowl to eat, or when I hold a cup of tea to drink, I have to use both hands. I can't just do it with the one. Um, and it is kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. You know, it's just part of my what they call a living difficulty. They don't actually call it a disability, which is a lie, but because dyspraxia is a disability, and for some people it's worse than others. Um, so so yes, I fell down the stairs before going to the hospital, but they did the procedure, which I was really, really happy about. And then in the recovery, I just was so lucky because there was somebody else there at the time who had actually had her procedure cancelled twice because of high blood pressure. So even something like having an elevated blood pressure could potentially prevent that procedure from taking place, which meant that this lady had to go through the same procedure as I did, of having to retake that drink that they make you drink. And she's had to do that twice. And she's still not had an outcome. So I felt really, really like sorry for her. But one of the positive things, if you could call it a positive thing, was while I was at the hospital, they always have the news on. It's the only channel they can put on is BBC One. And so I got to watch the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and it was just absolutely amazing to see that, and to see this lady, I forget her name, who was 104 years old, 104, and she was there at the remembrance in Normandy. So hats off to her. And even like in A&E, I got to watch D-Day as well. So, and in X-Ray, I got to watch D-Day. So I was really relieved that I didn't miss that, and that I got to watch the highlights. I think the only negative thing now about A&E at the George Eliot Hospital is since last June, because there was a lot of antisocial behaviour, they've now got not just the TV on, but they've got like this voice speakerphone that goes off like every 3 minutes, and music playing. So there's a lot of sensory overload. So when you are there for like 4 hours, and you're not just hearing the people around you, but you've got this speaker, and you've got the television and the bright lights. It is very, like, it's too much. So they need to think about, you know, are they going to have the TV on just with the subtitles and no noise? And then have the speaker noise only, but to have everything, it is quite sensory processing is just like, it's too much. So I will answer the questions that people have left, and also I've already uploaded the videos, but I've not made them live, so I'll just edit the titles of those so that you can see, like, how I managed to take the medication. And I did actually mention to them at the hospital that, you know, because they asked me what did it taste like, and I said seawater, and they said it's weird because not everybody has said the same thing, which goes to show that all of our taste buds obviously are tailored to you, and everybody experiences taste differently. And I did say to them, as long as you avoid the salt taste buds in your mouth, which are there, then it makes it more palatable to drink. But I just, fingers crossed, I will not have to go through that procedure again. But if I do, then I do. If I don't, I don't. But so now I'm just waiting for my results. So thank you very much, everybody, for your viewing me and for following my sort of journey into having a colonoscopy. And I hope any of the information I've included in this is helpful. And anyone who is going to obviously go through that procedure themselves has something they could potentially use as a reference. But again, it's different for everyone. You know, I mean, it's like blood tests. Some people can do them really easily, and then with some people like myself, my veins collapse. It takes a very long time to get blood out of me. And because I do have an elevated white blood cell count, it's really hard to decide whether or not I have got a genuine infection or not. And again, this is something I did have to say to them, that if anything goes wrong, just because my blood cell count is high doesn't mean that I have an infection. So once again, because somebody's just joined, this is, sorry, let me just try and get it in the middle. This is my colon, or what everyone's colon ideally looks like. And all of these circles represent how many biopsies and photographs that were taken of my insides. So as you can imagine, although these biopsies are quite small, I am still in quite a bit of pain from having this. And one of the things I had to be vigilant of was sepsis. But touch wood, it's been 2 days now since my procedure, and I'm feeling, apart from being extremely tired, I am feeling okay. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to go now. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.